live. Yes.
That's cool. Well, a very, very warm welcome to this Conscious World Agents Facebook Live session. My name is Arturo Massaro.
And my name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And both we are the co-founders of CWA, Conscious World Agents. And we want to help this Earth, this whole planet, to raise the level of consciousness. So that you at least, when you look at your issues, your problems, you can be in a different level of awareness and see probably much more solutions than you normally do.
Yeah, and we just also want to say welcome to our viewers. It's really great that you're with us. Normally we are live in the afternoon at 3 o'clock, or we are live at 7 o'clock in the evening, CAT time, but this week we are a bit earlier.
Yeah. Due to,
because I'm just about to leave to hold with another wonderful woman, Sume Brands, a retreat, a woman's retreat in the Netherlands, in the heart of the Netherlands for till Sunday evening.
Yeah.
So
in the middle of the nature, and it's beautiful.
It's a natural woman retreat, so I'm just about to do that. So thank you for joining us a bit earlier today. And I would like to add a little bit as well what you said about Conscious World Agents, because we all have different levels of consciousness, but we're not often aware how these levels of consciousness affect our own reality. And as we have this huge potential in our lives as human beings, not everybody's aware of the tools how to do that, to become your full potential, to unlock your full potential. And so we're not thinking that we know more than you. It's just that when we collect together, when we connect together collectively, we can raise our conscious level. And there's so many studies done around that as well. And we just feel that by sharing what we're going through, and it shows by all the responses we're getting that people get a lot of benefit out of that. So we just keep sharing. We keep sharing our social media posts, our own insights, our own experiences, and wow, it's wonderful what we get from feedback and really how people say it helps them. And we had a wonderful experience day on last Saturday.
Last weekend we had a wonderful experience day, CWA Experience Day, where the people really find some new insights and also really went through the journey to go to their heart, to make decisions from the heart instead of the mind. We need the mind definitely to make plans, to analyze all these kind of things, but the real connection to the source, but also your intuition is here. It's at the heart.
Yes. Yeah, and we could also say the source is, of course, within yourself. Yeah. So that was amazing to see. Absolutely wonderful how people really made that connection and made first steps towards their dreams and their goals, or what they really want to experience in this life. So it was fabulous. We just had a wonderful time. And thanks everyone who was there. And we haven't planned our next one yet because we have quite a few things going on already with our program. But our 4-leaf clover start in September. Yeah. So you might want to have a look at our website for that as well, consciousworldagents.com 4-leaf clover program page. That would be great if you can have a look at that. So what were our posts about?
Yeah, well, in the meantime, if you have a question, please write down a question and we see if we can answer it for you. Our posts this week, this week were about being of service. And why is that important? Also, not only to raise your level of consciousness, but also more globally in your society, in your surroundings. My first post was more about to experience myself what it means if people show this being of service. They showed it to me and what happened to me. And we all have issues in our life. There is always a moment in your life, and at least in the past and hopefully in the future less, that you thought, I need help, but I don't know how and when and so on. And in 2002, in 2001, I quit my job as a manager. In 2002, I didn't have any job for earning money. I just became a trainer and a coach, but everything was on hold for every company. So I was in deep debt, even more than 60,000 euros in debt. So I saw really the bottom, and I didn't know how to act anymore, and I was really down. And then, and every time when I tell it, I feel the emotion again. It was so wonderful. Two friends of mine in the Netherlands, just before Christmas, the company will give you a Christmas package, and it's called Christmas hamper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Christmas hamper, and a lot of stuff in it. And most of the times, to be honest, it's stuff that you think, well, do I need it? But what happened? They got it from their boss, but they didn't keep it for themselves. At a certain moment, at Christmas Eve, the bell rang. I opened the door, and there were my two friends, and they gave me their Christmas hamper. And it's that moment that you feel you're not alone. You're not alone. There are people around you. Even if it's just a simple Christmas hamper. And I've never been so happy with some jars of jam. I don't like jam at all, but I took it, and it was heartwarming, but it also gave me hope. Mm-hmm. And that is what I think being of service can mean to you, but also to others. Can you shine your own light that you have inside of you for others? Not by saying how great you are, but by showing. But by showing, okay, how can I help you? This is what I have for you. And do it without expecting anything in return. Do it from the heart. And if you do this, it will come there. And can you imagine if we all do just being of service to the other? I will do it for you. Claudia will do it for other persons. But at a certain moment, it will also come back to you. That's not the goal of it, but it will come back to you if we are just service each other. And if you do that, what you will notice is that your level of consciousness, your level of awareness will rise. And as we already said in earlier events, Facebook Live events, the universe is responding to that energy, to that frequency that you send out. And what you can give to others, you will receive also. So be open to receive also for that. But it starts with giving, and every time it's now almost 20 years later, it's still in my body. I can still feel it. Mm-hmm. And that also brought something to me that, okay, how can I help others?
Lovely. Yeah, and yeah, I can see that you're still very touched by that, of course. And you know, we can also make a joke around it and make it a little bit like I didn't want to do.
Yeah, please do. No, make a joke out of it.
No, I don't want to. It was something funny. We had a bit of a banter before we started, so it's like I'm still a little bit in that energy, but it was really, really touching when you did that. We were playing with this light because apparently we have the light coming in, so we were like sun and moon. Like I would go here and would get an eclipse, and Arturo would come in and it would be a light, and it was all.
Can you see it? If I'm gone, then it's darker. A little bit more dark. And I bring the light. Can you see it? Can you see the difference?
Yeah, he's the yang and I was the yin, because when I would come here it would be like dark again. So it's a full solar eclipse. So we were having a bit of a banter around that. And then you come with this beautiful story. So yeah, thank you for that. Mm-hmm. It always touches me to hear that as well. And when you say it raises the level of consciousness of being of service, what do you mean by that? Can you... tell a bit more?
Well, it's also a little bit in my second post.
Okay, so would you like to go on there then more?
Well, I want to, I want to go deeper on that part, because it's a very valid question. how does it raise your level of consciousness then?
Yeah.
Just by
being of
service.
Yeah.
But in my second post, I will talk more about that.
Nice.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so you want to move on to my post?
Yeah,
is there
please.
More you want
No, that's and if people have questions, please share them.
Yeah, great. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, please put them underneath. And otherwise, if we don't see them now, then we can always answer to them later as well. So one of the quotes that I really love is, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, by Mahatma Gandhi. And some of you might know that, I've spoke about it before, that I'm an international facilitator for the 16 Guidelines program. And one of the guidelines is service, being of service. And I came across the 16 Guidelines about, I don't know how long, over 10 years ago. And it really had a huge impact on my life to realize that these basic human values really are helpful for us to become more aware of where we are, how familiar we are with those guidelines, like being of service or honesty or forgiveness and all these things. So, and it really helped me. It was like a good framework to check in with myself. Where am I with this? And how can I develop that more? Because I believe we're born with these qualities and we can develop them further because of all our interactions when we were younger and things that we've been taught. Maybe they are not so much in alignment with who we really are. So we've taken on beliefs, we've taken on patterns from role models that we thought were the right ones, but actually when we became older we came to realize they were not suiting us as much. So it's also very helpful for that. So I really like the being of service one, being one of the guidelines, and I've been looking at that for years. Where am I with that? So a few years ago I went to India. I was in an ashram there, and we had to do karma yoga. I was finishing or polishing up one of my yoga teacher programs in a beautiful ashram, really in the jungle, and it was pretty wild out there. And we had to do karma yoga every day. And karma yoga is like you tidy up, you do things, you do your practice in the morning. We had a meditation, we had a yoga training, then we had a yoga practice. And then we would have breakfast, and then we would do karma yoga for a couple of hours or so. And there were some pretty horrific things I had to do there. I don't think you would have done them. But that's what I said. No, I really know. And I don't want to say what I had to do, but I did it. And it was good that I had about 20 years of nursing experience before that, so that was good. But in any case, what happened, I was tired sometimes, and finally I'd made this choice to go a whole month again in a retreat after having been in nursing, being counseling, being a mother, doing a lot of things. And I thought, I have a month for myself, really for myself. And here again, I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was tidying, I was making cow pet things and all these things for the fire. And I was like, sometimes I would get this feeling of, I don't want to do this. I just, but I did it for the whole. This was the whole thing, for the whole ashram. But there was some resistance sometimes in me. And it was really funny because we started to talk with some of the other students there, and one of the students had to clean the hallway, the corridor, every day. And the Swami would not give him another task to do. And he says, for goodness sake, I've done this hallway a whole week. I want to do something else. But what is really interesting with that is the process, how your mind goes. Mm-hmm. And really, at some point, I really got the message from it. It was like, oh my gosh, can I be of selfless service, doing this not for me anymore? It's never about me anymore. It's good to take some time out and to relax and to recharge, but always look at the bigger picture of things. And the benefit of that, if we all come together and we all do selfless service to the benefit of the greater whole that we're in, then, the ego starts to dissolve. This small ego starts to dissolve. And perhaps that's a bit, what you're also going to talk about. But that's what happened in me. It was like, oh my gosh, Claudia, let it go. And that was such a beautiful feeling. And on the Sundays, we had a day off. So then I went to the Mother Ganges with some of the people who took me there. And I just wanted, when I saw the river, and apparently this is a river very high in energy, and I've seen a lot of things happening with the Mother Ganges, but I just walked in with all my clothes and I went like, take it. Just take all these things that are not helpful, because when you think like that, you get tight, you get uptight, your body starts to respond on that. I was like, I just take it away from me. And what a beautiful feeling that was. So what happened then after that, I really started to do this karma yoga with a sense of joy. And then everybody was more aware of their conscious levels about it. And the whole atmosphere changed. People were doing things. What else can I do? What else can I do? And we were just having fun, and we were, having more laughter, and we were happy to do it. And that was such a beautiful process. So my experiment this week then with my post about that was, just for a moment today, think about what you can do for someone else with a sincere joy in your heart. Just thinking, what can I do for that person that I know is going to make them really happy? So, and that's what I keep thinking about at times, and just go like, okay, what else can I do today that can bring some joy to someone? And then I love it. I absolutely love it. And not only that person benefits, but I also benefit.
And I like that. But you, at a certain moment, you said sincere.
Yeah, sincere.
And why do you emphasize on sincere?
I think that is about the feeling that happens. You can want something in your mind, say, oh, I want to do something that I know that person is going to like. But when it's sincere, you start to feel it in your own heart already. Mm-hmm. Like it comes from here. I want to do something for you. Like I want to make a nice cup of coffee for you because I know you really like it. But I don't make good coffee, so I do something else. But it's like that. I really want to do something out of here, not like, oh, I think he's going to be happy, or she's going to be happy. But it's just like, how does it feel for me? That's what I mean with sincere.
Okay, and has this also something to do with, and maybe that's just an assumption, but sometimes I see people helping others because they're running away for their own issues, and
yes,
and what kind of energy could be in that?
Then I think it's not selfless. Then, it's still doing for yourself, for you not to be. Yeah. Would you agree with that? That it's not having to look at your own thing that's happening, and that's fine if that is a process that you need to go through to realize that. Could be through karma yoga that you realize that. Oh my gosh, I'm not willing to face what's really going on inside.
Nice.
Eh?
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, right. Well, thanks everybody who's still watching. Really glad that you're here, and I hope, that you enjoy watching and listening to what we're saying. So,
yeah.
Really great to have you here. We're really grateful. We're really grateful that we can do this and share with you. I mean.
Well, again, we noticed it with ourselves last weekend when we did the experience day. After that, how humble we feel. Yeah. That we can be of service to others, not with our truth, but with, how do you say that, getting out what's already inside of you.
That's it. Yes. To uncover.
Yeah, to uncover. Yeah. And then you're going to discover how great you are already. That's great.
And then your light is going to shine. Look.
Yeah.
Lovely, these candles around us. Oh, great.
So my second post. And that's nice. You talked about being selfless. When you talk about being of service, it's unconditional. It comes from the heart. You do it because you want to do it, not to get something out of it. And as soon as you do it in this way, and that's also what I felt with people helping me at that moment, people hardly remember what you say. They can't remember what you did, but they definitely will remember how you made them feel. And it's even 20 years later, and I'm sure if I'm 20 years further and I go back to that moment in 2002, I still feel it. And that's being of service. Giving people that energy, that love, that maybe hope, that awareness, that they never forget. They will never forget this one. And your question was also, how can it raise your level of consciousness? Well, just think about a situation where you feel down. What kind of energies do you feel then in your body? You send out? Do you feel the frustration, the anxiety, anger? You're totally down. But this is also what you send out. This is a lower vibration, lower frequency. Once you are going to be of service, unconditional, a lot of things will happen. It gives you energy. It gives you fulfillment. You see how other people thrive from that. Probably you don't notice the time. It will go on. And the rewards you got and you get from that are huge. But you're not doing it for the rewards. But the reward is the high level of consciousness by raising your own level, of energy and frequency in this. And a nice part is also that maybe with all these, because a lot of things you help with for other people is also, there are somewhere your talents, the things that you're good at. That's also why people love you. They say to you, okay, you're so good at that, and for you it's normal. But these are your talents. And if you look at how you serve, is that the right way? How you are of being of service to others, look at that and see what you're already doing there. And how effortless this is for you. And with all these things that you see then, that's probably already a huge step towards your calling, towards your purpose in life. And once you find your calling, then your level of consciousness goes up and up and up and up. And things will come to you instead that you have to chase things. But for me it starts with two very, very, very important and strong energies, and that's gratitude and being of service. If you do these two, if you really show gratitude for everything you already have, and you're being of service, selfless, unconditional, I can almost guarantee you that life will change. Life will definitely change for you. And the universe is going to respond. And this is how we change the world, by one moment to another. Show a moment of light to a person, and then the next moment, and then the next moment. And they will do it exactly the same.
Yeah, I love that. And also you can already feel that energy that is with that. That there is that, the gratitude in there already.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Very well explained. I love it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about it?
No, I think
okay.
That's
it. Nice.
Well, it's beneficial for you and for the other person. You do it for the other person, but it's also beneficial for you. That's the last thing that I can say about it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, and as we are talking about this being of service, my post was also about being of service is great. However, we cannot pour from an empty cup.
That's very good. Yeah.
So being of service also means having a heart full of grace towards oneself. It means taking good care of yourself first, and which means that you are fully there, feeling healthy and strong to be there for others. So when we think of being of service, it's always towards others. But when I spoke about when I was in India, I was doing that also for myself, because in order for me to be there for others as a mother or as a partner, or for myself and for my children, or the animals, the community I live in, or my clients, I need to be really taking good care of me as well, so that I feel in balance all the time and not stressed, or these things that keep me away from my real self, my higher self. So I need time to look at that and what do I need to maintain that? And that is often meditation, and we know that if you know, I really need some quiet time at times as well, and that really helps me, that I can reflect and just, you know, come back to my center. And I really like what they write in the 16 Guidelines book about that, and I would like to share that. It's about service as well. So I'm going to read it out for a bit of inspiration. The people who serve the most deeply and sincere seem to be those who can expose themselves the most fully to another person's needs and problems. It can be painful and difficult to open up to the suffering of someone else. Our minds recoil, seeking a more pleasurable focus of attention. Yet, if we can stay open and aware, we may find the answers for many of our own needs and dilemmas. And then they give an experiment, and the experiment is, are you feeling burnt out, with nothing left to give? Do you offer service to others at the expense of your own well-being? Do something in the next 2 weeks to show compassion to yourself. Try to bring the same softness and compassion into the next thing you do for someone else. So we must start with ourselves first. It's the same with that self-compassion. Being of service to yourself is also self-compassion. Applying that. And we're not taught that. We think then we are selfish. But in order for us to become selfless, His Holiness Dalai Lama speaks of being wisely selfish.
Yeah.
You know, that you have to really take good care of you first, and then you can be there fully for others. And that all other people feel that. When you are there for others to be of service and they feel you're tired, they feel, oh, but you've done already so much and you're giving again, they can't really relax or accept that also very freely. But if they feel that you're centered, you're in your strength, and you then give something that's often much more genuine, they can receive it also much more genuinely. That's how I understand it and how I experience it. You know, and then they don't feel so guilty, maybe, that even though that is their own mind, but that they're receiving something, because sometimes they feel then guilty. But oh, you worked all day and you did this and that. I remember when I was with my children, was still at home, and my daughter still had a horse, you know, and I was working, and she was, oh, Mommy, you may be too tired to go, but I really wanted to go there with her because I got a lot of it out of myself. And I wanted her to feel that, not that she would feel guilty or that my son would feel guilty that I had to take him to the rugby again or something. I really wanted to be there. And in order for me to being able to fully enjoy it, I had to take some time out for myself, do my meditation, do my yoga practice or whatever I needed. So then when I would do something with them and for them, I'd be fully there. And and I think a lot of people forget that, and that's where self-compassion comes in as well.
Yeah. And I think you also show to other people that you are willing to being of service, but you also take care of yourself. And by doing that, you also show to other people, hey, maybe I can do that also sometimes.
Yeah, can inspire.
Just having time for myself. You know, we love to be together. But I love to go to the golf course. I love to read sometimes. And that's, or I'll see a different movie than Claudia likes. But take your own time in this. It's so, the recovery that you have then is so very important. A lot of things with being of service, it will give you energy, but also take time for yourself. It's,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love horse riding on a Monday morning. On the weekends, like, take me to a gallop in nature. Yeah. And I'm totally recharged. So, and that's great, you know. So allow yourself those things, whatever it is, working in the garden, going for a walk in the park or whatever. Take it, do it. And even if you want to walk with your clothes on in the Mother Ganges, if that's what feels right, do it. So, so that was our experiences shared with you this week.
Anything else?
Oh. I think our last week chat with Mac was fantastic too.
Yeah, if you didn't see it so far, go to our...
it's not on YouTube yet.
No, but it's on our page of Facebook.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook page of Conscious World Agents. Go and see to have this live talk, this guest speaker with Mac McCartney. It was wonderful. really wonderful, and the insights that he can give you, and also the broader picture. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So I think that was worth a mention again. And then our topic for next week?
Yeah, our topic for next week will be about honesty. Mm-hmm. Honesty to yourself, but also to the world and the society around you. Mm-hmm. And how will this help to raise your level of consciousness?
That's it. Okay. That's it. It's going to be about it next week. And we just want to say thank you so much for watching again. Thanks for tuning in with us. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to have a little bit of lunch before I go and just go and make it as fantastic as possible. All right?
Have a great weekend. The
weekend went. No, a great weekend. Okay, thanks for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.